Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Eagles Latest on Fan Arch. I am your host, Blake McQueary, and of course, Eagles content. I always say it. We've got a lot to talk about. Last episode, I covered a few things that was a mix of Buccaneers stuff from that game, recapping that, and other news that needed to be dealt with. AJ Brown and Okoronkwo, his injury. Today, it's going to be mostly just I wouldn't say X's and O's of the Buccaneers game and recapping that, but it's going to be looking at this Eagles team after the Bucks game, where they're at, taking what happened in that Bucks game and applying it to their future, what's going on, how they look, offensively, defensively, things like that. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. So stay tuned for the next 20 minutes, and let's dive right into it. Kevin Patullo, he's on the ticker. First up, the amount of times that Kevin Patullo has been on this ticker, I think we would all be rich, probably. And I don't think it's going to change. Why? Because Kevin Patullo is not taking accountability. Like, he has taken zero accountability whatsoever. And I'm here to say that he needs to take some damn accountability. Patullo commented on, I believe it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, about A.J. Brown, A.J. Brown's cryptic tweets. I went over that in last episode, so go check that out. And also the offense. And the comments, they kind of upsetted me. I think they upsetted a lot of Eagles fans. They upsetted me as an insider, as a guy who covers this team, analyzes his team daily. If you don't, I'll give a brief update. Not an update. I'll give a brief breakdown of A.J. Brown if you don't know what's going on right now. A.J. Brown basically, after the game, was very frustrated with his production. I think it's been a buildup of frustration with his production through the first 4 games. And after the Buccaneers game, he went on Twitter, tweeted a Bible verse that kind of just said, if you're not, I don't know the exact wordage. I had it in last episode, so go check that out. But basically was saying if you're not loved, things like that, shrug your shoulders, walk away. And then he also tweeted a tweet that said, I love you guys with all my heart, with like the heart emoji with the bandage on it. Apparently reports from, I think it was Jeff McLean, was kind of saying that those 2 tweets were directed at somebody or multiple people within the Eagles organization. Don't know how valid that is. But back to Patullo. Patullo commented on that, and he said, quote, AJ and I have a great relationship throughout the years. We spend a lot of time together. Great communication. We've had no problems. I know where his heart is. He wants to do anything to help us. As far as I'm concerned, we're in a good spot. You're not in a good spot. That's a lie. You are not in a good spot. That is a total lie. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. You're not in a good spot. He is frustrated. He is frustrated because he is not getting the damn football. I have been saying it. I've said it since before the season started. Get him the football. And this is a product of that. We're seeing it firsthand right here unfold. A.J. Brown not getting the football. I'm not necessarily totally mad with Kevin's comments. I'm not mad with the full quote. I think when situations like this arise and the media ask coaches about it, obviously 9 times out of 10, the coach is going to say, hey, listen, everything's good over here. They're not just going to go and stand in front of the media and be like, oh, yeah, AJ's upset. It's not a great situation right now. We're nervous about that. That's not going to happen. So I understand that AJ and I have a great relationship throughout the years. We spent a lot of time together, great communication, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not mad about that. But you can say that while also acknowledging the fact that you have failed to do your job to get A.J. Brown the football. The end of this quote could simply be, I understand that we have not included A.J. Brown like he's wanted to and like we've wanted to in our game plan. We haven't gotten him the ball like he deserves, like he should be getting the ball. And I take accountability for that. And it's going to be better moving forward. Simple. It's that simple. No one would be upset with you about that. Because at least you're acknowledging that there is an issue. That quote right there doesn't acknowledge anything. You're lying. You're lying. At the end of that quote, you are lying. As far as I'm concerned, we're in a good spot. You're not. You are absolutely not in a good spot. Not at all. I don't know who Patullo thinks he's fooling, but it's not me. And it's not anyone in that media room, I know that. And it's not the fans. So, I don't know. And then Patullo went on to get asked about the offense. Patullo said, quote, "There were some things we can change. We've had very unique games. We've played very good teams and really good defenses where we come out in the first halves to try and throw them off." Again, some of that quote, I'm not upset with it. Yes, the Eagles have been playing very good football teams, very good defenses. Everyone knows that. But again, you take accountability right there. You do. There were some things we can change. To me, that is lazy accountability. That is like bare minimum accountability, beating by the bush, whatever. That is what that is. That's what that says. But Kevin, just own up to it. Just own up to it. Just say, hey, listen, I need to be better. I need to get these guys in better situations, better opportunities. I need to scheme things up better. Like, the offense schemes are not good. They're not. You've got... I mean, there was a play against the Bucs where A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and I believe it was Dotson. They all ran 5-yard curl routes. And Dallas Goedert's running a 10, 12-yard out route. And then you have Saquon motioning back and forth and then running kind of like a backwards orbit. Like, I don't even know what it was. It was ridiculous. And the ball got thrown to Saquon Barkley. That is not a good offense scheme. That is not a good utilization of the route tree whatsoever. I mean, let's go back to that point that I made. And I think that was after the Kansas City game. Utilize the route tree. He's not utilizing the route tree. There is no creativeness when it comes to the passing game, when it comes to drawing up wide receiver routes. There's no creativeness whatsoever. You've got to be better. You got to be better. Get A.J. Brown the ball. I have a stat right here. Most receiving yards in your first 4 seasons as an Eagle. Who's in third? Devontae Smith with 4,011. Who's in second? Deshaun Jackson with 4,085. And who's in first place? A.J. Brown with 4,182. And he isn't even halfway through his 4th season. Get him the ball. Get him the ball. Scheme things better, get more creative, and get A.J. Brown the ball. Simple as that. Moving on. We're going to talk about the fate of what this Eagles football team is. Who are they actually? Are they a dominant 4-0 team, or are they an undefeated team who's squeaked by their opponents because they've gotten lucky? I mean, this is one of the most up and down teams that I've ever seen with my eyes in the National Football League. They are in a very weird situation through these first 4 games. They're undefeated, one of the toughest schedules in football. But is that sustainable with the way that the offense has been playing? Is blocking a field goal with 2 seconds left and returning it for a touchdown to win the game in week 3, and then week 4 getting shut out offensively in the second half, is that sustainable to win down the line? Luckily, they have a 4-game stretch that is, I wouldn't even say it's an easy stretch. It's better than what they've been playing. Not better in team wise, better for the Eagles than what they've been playing. Um, the Broncos, the Vikings, the Giants twice. Those are all teams who aren't cream of the crop in the NFL. Um, I mean, Denver's the best team, and I mean, offensively, they haven't even looked that good. Defensively, though, they are very good, and the Eagles need to get much better by next Sunday if they want to beat this Denver team, because that defense is no joke. Advertised by Pat Surtain, arguably, probably the best corner in the NFL. Now, there are, some things you can look at as a positive. I think, yes, offensive struggling. It's been struggling. Um, I mean, they can't play a full two halves of football, which is concerning. But you got to say, like, it is a little bit impressive that you just beat an undefeated team without completing a pass in the second half. That's impressive. That is. Usually that shows how good of a football team you are. Can you credit the defense? Yeah, probably. We'll get into that in a little bit. And I don't want to compare an NFL team to a college team. I really don't. I don't want to do this. I actually don't want to do this. But I'm a Michigan man, so I'm going to do it. I'll do it. This Eagles team reminds me. This Eagles team reminds me of the 2023 Michigan Wolverines. You remember that game at Penn State? Michigan goes in and doesn't complete a pass. All of the second half, just runs the football down Penn State's throats and beats them. That is why I say that. I can't think of any other NFL offense in recent years that compares to this Eagles offense and what we've seen through 4 games. So that's why I'm going to say Michigan in 2023. I mean, it's rare. It's rare you see on both levels offenses that do that. It's rare. I have another stat about this offense. Fewest offensive yards by a team through 4 games this year. The Bengals, they are in first with fewest offensive yards by a team, 821 yards. They have a 2-2 record. The Titans, they have 842 total yards. They're in second. They have an 0-4 record. The Eagles are third with just barely breaking 1,000, 1,006 total yards. And obviously 4-0. I mean, it's weird. It really is weird. It really is weird. I don't know fully. I'm leaning on the side because I made the point in last episode that, I mean, seriously, if CeeDee Lamb, and I know these are hypotheticals, but if CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop 2 passes in the final minute in week 1, if Travis Kelce doesn't drop a touchdown pass, if Mahomes doesn't overthrow Thornton, if the Rams make a field goal, and then you think about the special teams touchdown to open the game up last week against the Bucs. Without those 7 points, Eagles lose 0-4. 0-4. And if you want to limit it to just the special teams touchdowns, if they don't make those 2 touchdowns the past 2 weeks, then yeah, 2-2. That's why, I don't know. Are they lucky? Are they Are they just a dominant 4-0 team? We will have to see that down the line. I think, are you going to figure it out within these next couple of weeks playing the opponents that they have on the schedule the next 4 weeks? I mean, probably not. I mean, if they lose one of those games, very alarming. Once again, it is the NFL, though. I mean, every week you never know what's going to happen. But I don't know. I say to Eagles fans, enjoy the experiment. It's hard to win the NFL. Ask any former NFL player. It's hard to win. Enjoy the experiment. Moving on to Coop and Quinion. Before we talk about this Eagles defense and how dominant they have been, these two draft picks, Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell, from 2024, are going to end up being Hall of Fame picks for the Eagles. I mean, these two are just elite, absolutely elite. Cooper DeJean last week against the Bucks, 9 total tackles, 8 solos, 1 assisted, 2 pass deflections, an 88.9 coverage grade, 3 forced incompletions. He was stellar, phenomenal. I mean, this year, 22 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 pass deflections. He is one of the best tacklers I've seen with my eyes. He is. He is one of the best tacklers I've seen with my eyes. He's fast. He's physical. He can get downhill very quickly. I mean, even when he's in coverage and he realizes that the ball isn't going to his guy and it's in the air, he can cut and go find that ball so quickly and get to it and make an impact. That is how good Cooper DeJean is. Quinion Mitchell, on the other hand, 5 total tackles, 4 solos, 1 assisted, an 88.9 coverage grade, same coverage grade as DeJean, 5 pass deflections. I mean, tremendous in coverage. Mitchell, 72 snaps, 9 targets, 2 catches allowed, 6 yards allowed, a 39.6 rating against. That is elite. That is like that's top 5 cornerback level elite right there. That is. And he was talking his shit. And I loved it. He was. I'm thinking about him kind of damn near face mask to face mask with Tristan Wirfs, not backing down, basically ripping his helmet off of him. I mean, dog mentality. I mean, this duo is going to be great for the Eagles years down the line. And every single year that they need to re-sign them, boys. Give them money, pay them, re-sign them. It's that simple. They're going to be Hall of Fame players for this Eagles defense. Absolutely. I mean, single-handedly, these two guys have. You give credit to their secondary. I mean, the secondary has been amazing, but it's credit to those two guys right there. They make it happen. It starts with those two guys, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. That is who it starts with. When you talk about secondary coverage for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's those two. And they are elite, one of the best duos in the NFL, if not the best. And I'm curious to see, really, like, if Vic Fangio is seriously considering moving Cooper DeJean to the outside. I mean, you really don't need it. That's how good he is, though. You don't need it, but, like, you can do it. And you can utilize that. But you don't need it. You really don't. You don't need it. So, I don't know. If he does that, it's going to be very, very interesting. Once again, though, they don't even need it. And I move on now to their elite defense and how talented they are. They are the youngest defense in the league. They're the youngest group in the league. Their oldest guy is Zach Bond at 28. They are the youngest group in the league. And arguably the best. I mean, they've been spectacular. And all their pieces make it that's what makes them dominant. I mean, we just talked about Coop and Quinion. Zach Bond, he's arguably the best linebacker in the NFL. He has been showing that week in and week out. He just won what's Tom Brady's post game, the GOAT award, whatever that is. John Campbell, his buddy, his teammate, his right hand man, is playing like a rookie defensive player of the year front runner. He has been amazing. Their defensive front has been impressive. I mean, the stunts they run. And Vic Fangio, he's going to Vic Fangio. He's one of the best defensive minds in the league. And it starts with him. It really does. It really starts with him. I think it's criminal allowing the mind of Fangio to obtain the pieces that the Eagles have on defense. Real quick, just looking at their abilities, and a few notes from film against the Buccaneers. I mean, the discipline and coverage, Reed Blankenship, Coop, Quinion, the secondary, it's been amazing. It really has been. I mean, they are to a T, quick, fast, physical. They cover well. They really do. And even Makuba's been okay. You know, he had a few slip ups. He had a huge slip up in the Bucs game on that Amika Luka touchdown. That was on Andrew Makuba. But I mean, he's a rookie. He's learning. It's so far from what you've gotten from him. I mean, you can't complain too much about Makuba. You can't. I mean, the coverage abilities from their linebackers, Bond and Campbell, have been elite. Bond knows exactly where the ball is going on almost every snap. He reads the quarterback's eyes very well, and he snaps to the ball quick. He does, because he knows where it's going. And Campbell's just a freak of nature. He is. I think Campbell, seriously, through 4 games, Campbell has been one of the best rookies I've seen with my eyes. I have full confidence in that. The downhill plays that they make, I mean, their downhill tackling is impressive. Impressive. I just talked about Coop's tackling. That's been impressive. I talked about Zach Bond, his ability to snap to the ball quickly. Makuba's downhill tackling is amazing for a rookie. The downhill plays that they are able to make, it's scary. Stunts from the defensive front, leading the pressures. They do stunts very well. Very well. It's almost the bread and butter to their defensive front is the stunts that they run. Keely Ringo, round of applause for him. He stepped up against the Bucs. He really did. He really did. And I talked about it. I talked about it in that episode. I said, when I talked about Keely Ringo and possibly him having to step up with Adoree Jackson and Bennett being hurt, I said it. I said, this might be his time to seize the opportunity. And he did. He stepped up big. And then once again, Vic Fangio, leading a defense with some of the best talent in the NFL. It's OP. It really is. It's very OP. I mean, they're the best blitzing defense in the NFL. They are. Their blitz percentage on dropbacks is about 23 to 24%, and their defensive success rate on dropbacks when blitzing is about 68 to 69%, highest in the league. They're the best. And the Kobe Dean comes back this week. Stay tuned for that for next episode, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that. Hopefully we have some updates. As it is Wednesday, so the Eagles are back at practice. So tomorrow should have more updates and things to discuss as far as where things are at with health and the Kobe Dean. As always, stay tuned with Eagles latest on Fan Arch. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.